Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest. I hope everybody is having a good and healthy start to their week. In this class, we are looking at speaking part 1, some questions, and looking at giving some great answers. Hi Awaz, good to see members in the class. Hi Kyber, hi Kamal, hi Pachu and Flowers, Sun. Nice to see some regular members as well. Salman Alotaibi, good for you for setting an alarm clock to catch this lesson. I saw that when you put that into the chat. While we wait for a few more of your fellow students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For the academic version of the IELTS exam, check us out at aehelp.com. Try out the premium package there to get those high band scores. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. Hi, Abhishek. I'm feeling great, thank you. Went for a nice long run in the morning. I'm feeling fresh and energized. Our websites look like this. This is the academic website here with the blue background. Click that big red button there to get the premium package. Over 100 hours of HD video lessons with no ads and original practice exams and fully interactive course for your phone, tablet, PC. This is the general version of our website here. It's the green background. Again, click that big red button there to join the premium package on the general version of the site. Students, if you have questions about our products, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. And this is the schedule for this week. So we have lessons today all the way until Saturday every day. Today, one lesson. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have 2 lessons each day. First lesson is for members. Second lesson is for everyone. Chat, of course, everybody can watch all of these lessons. So tomorrow we will start a task 2 for members. That was a member request, followed by a listening part 1 and part 2 for an all chat class there. Students, let's get into the speaking lesson of the day. Hopefully everybody can hear me well and see the questions on the screen. So this is speaking. Make sure to speak and repeat. Of course, because of the quarantine and the lockdown and the restricted home leave that people are experiencing around the world, a lot of us are actually speaking and communicating less. Now, that means, of course, that for many students who are planning to take the IELTS exam as soon as possible, it will be a little bit more challenging because many of you have fewer chances to practice your English. So it's really important, students, and this is just kind of a first tip to get us going here, that you recognize this discrepancy, this difference from the usual. You pay attention to it, and you try to compensate. So you try to make up for those missing classes, that missing English. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir here because, of course, this is a big reason many of you joined this class. Roshni says, I'm listening to Duolingo tests. That's great. So definitely it's a good time to use software, use Skype, WhatsApp to chat with people and talk as much as possible. So just a kind of an important tip. I know a lot of you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. With the current pandemic, people are less social these days. So for those of you who are planning to do IELTS ASAP, that means as soon as possible, you must focus to speak English daily. whether mirror English talking to yourself or on the phone or with software like Skype, okay, software, the mirror, and so on, okay? You have to really pay attention to that. And one good way, of course, is you're in this class and you're speaking and you're repeating what you hear. Okay, so the speaking section, students, of the IELTS exam, it has 3 parts. Part 1, some questions on a general topic, getting to know you as well. And part 2 is a cue card where you have to speak for 2 minutes on a specific question topic. And then part 3, which of course is connected to part 2, more complicated, detailed questions dealing with that topic. So today we are focusing on part 1, these general questions, okay? For these general questions, what I really want you to emphasize when you're typing and saying your answers is I really want you to think about a good direct answer, a clear explanation, and a smooth example. Okay, so that's our target always. Direct answer using the question, vocabulary, and grammar. Okay, clear explanation using both qualitative and quantitative numbers. Okay. Qualitative, quantitative, it means like far, how far, 5 kilometers. Okay. So that's what it means. And then 3, smooth examples. Smooth examples, what does that mean? Just give the example. Use as or like. Do not use for example. Okay? And the examiner will interrupt you if you do that. All right? Because they think you're going to just talk forever and go off topic. So hopefully that's clear. So this is our focus for today. Now, I can see that the YouTube stream sometimes is a little bit blurry. Of course, as you can imagine, students, there's a lot more YouTube streaming going on these days than usual. So the YouTube servers are a lot more bogged down. So you have to be a bit patient, okay, if you're experiencing slower streaming. All right, so again, direct answers, use the question, vocabulary, grammar, clear explanation, numbers and quality. So far, how far, 5 kilometers, and smooth examples. Let's get into it. So the first question the examiner will ask you is, what is your full name? Give me a nice answer just to warm up, and don't just write it, but also say it. Always practice saying your name in different ways so that you sound clear with good pronunciation, fluent right away. Okay, if you sound like, my name is Adrian Benedek, and then the examiner will right away go, okay, this is probably a band 5. Okay, they'll make a judgment right off the bat. So you want to start strong. Okay, Roshni Kunte says, my given name is Roshni and last name is Kunte. Please call me by my nickname Rosh. All right, that sounds great. Sanjay Pudel says, my full name is Sanjay Pudel. You can address me by my first name, which is Sanjay. Very nice, Sanjay. I like the adjective clause, okay? Kamal Sharma says, my full name is Kamal Sharma, and you can call me by my given name, Kamal. You can call me by my given name is okay. It's a bit more polite, students, to say, please call me by my first name, which is Kamal, okay? Ferdovs Nabiev says, my full name is Nabiev Ferdovs. However, all people call me by my Russian nickname, Fedya. All right. I had to go back there in the chat, Ferdovs. Fedya. Good, Fedya. All right. Tang Nyok says, my full name is Nok Ten. You can call me by my nickname, which is Tom. Tan, use the adjective clause, which is Tom. Okay, so My full name is Jonathan McLeod. Jonathan, lots of spellings for it. McLeod. Please just call me John for short. Okay. So repeat after me. What is your full name? My full name is Jonathan McLeod. Please just call me John for short. So if you have a long name and then you have a short version of your name like Jonathan, and then you have a short version like John, you can use this nice expression for short. Okay? So my full name is Jonathan McLeod. Please just call me John for short. All right. And then they'll ask for your identification. You can say, here it is. And we'll jump to the next question here. So let's go with this one. Do you have any hobbies? This is a very common question. I'm sure you heard it many, many times learning English from your classmates and teachers. Please, in the IELTS exam, if you hear a question like this, do you have any hobbies? Be as excited as the first time that you heard this question. So don't be like, oh, not this question again. But be excited. Be like, yes, I have several hobbies. I like to collect comic books as well as movies on DVD and Blu-ray. So be really excited, okay, with questions in the IELTS. Confident and excited. So, do you have any hobbies? Flower Sun says, well, when I have time for myself, I usually read books or chat with my friends on Zalo apps. Sometimes watching films with my family is also a good idea. Flower Sun, the second half there, make it personal. Sometimes I also like to watch films with my family, okay? Don't make it passive or indirect. So keep it all very direct. Students, for part one, keep your answers very, very direct, okay? So here's another embedded tip. For part one, keep your answers very direct or very direct and about you. You, meaning say, I, me, my, myself, okay? These are the pronouns that we like to hear in part one, okay? So do you have any hobbies? Let's see a few more answers. Rangana says, frankly speaking, ever since I was a child, I have been an avid book reader. My favorite genres are mystery and sci-fi. These days, I'm reading a mystery book called White River. Rangana, remember, we're giving a direct answer, an explanation, and an example. Okay, that's what we're focusing on. Be expressive, students. Also, using an expression like frankly speaking is not very good for an answer like this. Frankly speaking means to tell the truth or to be honest. That's kind of an awkward expression for a question like this, okay? That's something that we would use in a debatable topic, okay? Like, do you think it's a good idea to drive to work in the mornings? Frankly speaking, driving every day to work is not only bad for health, but also the environment. That's where I would use frankly speaking, Rangana, where it's more of an opinionated kind of situation. So careful, students, if you just use leading expressions without using them correctly, you will lose points, okay? If you use them correctly, you gain points. All right. All right. Rajveer says, yes, I have several pastime activities. I not only enjoy watching movies, but also reading technical books to enhance my knowledge. Like yesterday, I read a book related to Connected devices written by Danis. Really nice, Rajveer. That's a nice paraphrased high band answer. Okay, so yes, I have several pastime activities. Pastime is another way to say leisure time. Notice, Rajveer, that pastime is one word, and it's spelt, I spelt it with two S's, spell check corrected me, it's spelt with one S. So pastime, it's pronounced as one word as well. Nice use of that though, Rajveer. Good to share that word with everybody else. So yes, I have several pastime activities. Not only do I like watching movies, but also I like to read technical books to enhance my knowledge and skills. These days, I'm reading a book on how to invest during a global crisis, written by Mark Thompson. Students, please don't start searching for that book. I just made that up, okay? But that's what you can do when you practice giving these answers and you know that you need an answer, explanation, example. You can actually come up with some good information on the fly. It means while you're speaking. So here we go. Do you have any hobbies? Yes, I have several pastime activities. Not only do I like watching movies, but also I like to read technical books to enhance my knowledge and skills. These days, I'm reading a book on how to invest during a global crisis, written by Mark Thompson. All right, so nice job there, Rajveer, inspiring that answer from me with answer, explanation, and example. All right, that's what you're focusing on. Okay, let's skip this next question and go to these part one questions. So, students, part one, okay, the examiner will introduce the topic very quickly, and they'll say something like, let's talk about mobile apps. Let's talk about mobile apps for this part one. Now, of course, again, remember, this part one is about you. So when they say, let's talk about mobile apps, that means that many questions will likely be about apps and you. What kind of apps you use, why, when, how often, and so forth. Okay, so keep that in mind. Part one is about you. All right, students, here we go. I see lots of answers coming up, and that's fantastic. Okay, I will catch different students at different times. The first question here is, how often do you use apps on your phone? Okay, so how often do you use apps on your phone? Clearly, this question is fishing for adverbs of frequency, like always, sometimes, never. Okay. All right, so let's see some answers for this one. Maksud says, well, I frequently use apps on my phone, about 5 to 6 hours on a daily basis, as I have a variety of apps for communication and studying, as well as working on projects. Today I came to this exam by using Google Maps on my phone. Very nice example, Maksud. I like it. See, that's creative visual thinking and speaking. Students, the IELTS is testing your thinking just as much as your English, okay? So your communication as well. So good job. I came to this exam using Google Maps on my phone. Elena Mori says, using mobile apps is very common nowadays. Without any exception, I use my mobile apps every now and then. Like before entering this exam room, I used an Uber cab app to book a ride to get here. Elena, good. Elena, please start with the direct answer. Okay, so pay attention to this, everyone. Again, it's a really good point. Elena says using mobile apps is very common nowadays. That's too general. Okay, the examiners don't care about that. All right, and they feel like you're not answering the question if you say that. So if you say using apps is very common these days. Okay, let's just stop with this for a second. This sentence does not answer this question. The question is, how often do you use apps on your phone? The logic here is that the subject is you. Okay? The subject is not people or society or software programmers. Okay? The subject is you. If your answer doesn't deal with the correct subject right away, the examiner thinks that you either didn't understand the question clearly or you're unable to communicate directly and clearly. Both of these are a problem. Okay? So you really, really must, to get those high band scores, deal with the correct subject right away. All right? It's very, very important. So please, students, don't say using apps is very common these days. That's generalized, inaccurate communication. All right? So start with the direct answer, Elena. Without exception, I use mobile apps frequently. All right? That's what you want to do. All right. Some more answers coming up. Musafir Hun Yaron says, yes, I have many hobbies. I love to spend my free time actively, and my favorite sport is playing cricket, as it helps me to stay active and healthy. Okay, Musafir, that was for the previous question, right? So you got it out. That's good. Roshni, for this question, says, well, I frequently use mobile apps like Skype, Zoom, as well as Facebook almost 6 days a week because this helps me prepare for this exam. Earlier today, I used Facebook to access some classes. Roshni, don't use for example. Okay. Kapet Chui says, well, I usually use mobile apps because there's a lot of apps on my phone, like Facebook, YouTube, to name a few, but every time I turn on my phone, I immediately come into apps. Okay. You haven't really explained it. So students, think about, why do you use apps? Some of you said for communication, which was good. Give some reasons, right? Charlie Sen says, I use apps on my phone all the time. I mean, every moment. Currently, due to isolation, I use my mobile phone apps 7 to 8 hours a day, like studying IELTS using my phone. Okay, good. Here, I'll give you a nice answer for this as well. So I'm constantly using apps on my phone, whether it's games like Hearthstone. Let me shrink this a bit. For entertainment, or Udemy for learning. I'm accessing these apps at least 10 to 20 times a day for a duration of 5 or more hours. I just used Google Maps to find this exam center and the voice recorder app to get ready for the speaking interview. Okay, that's your fluent high band English. Here we go, students, repeat after me. How often do you use apps on your phone? I'm constantly using apps on my phone, whether it's games like Hearthstone for entertainment or Udemy for learning. I'm accessing these apps at least 10 to 20 times a day for a duration of 5 or more hours. I just use Google Maps to find this exam center and the voice recorder app to get ready for the speaking interview. That's fluency, okay? That's precision. That's band 9. That's what you want to do. Students, if you have trouble saying this much information, you don't need to, okay? You can do it with less. Just remember, answer, explain, example. Next question, what app do you use most often? And notice the bracket why. That's because the examiner will ask you why if you don't automatically answer. It's better to automatically give the reason. You will get a better band score. If the examiner has to ask you why, your fluency score goes down. If they don't have to say why, then your fluency score will be better. Okay? All right. So, which app do you use most often and why? Karan Veer says, I most frequently use social media apps such as Facebook and Instagram to share my thoughts and chat with my friends, as well as utility apps like the calculator, Google Maps, which not only make my life easy, but also they're convenient. Karen Veer, one problem here. You're listing apps. What app do you use most often? This is one app, not which apps do you use most often, but what app do you use most often? It's one app. Accuracy is really important for the high band score students. Okay. Awaz Akhmedov says, I mainly use Google Maps in order to find unknown places. Dub Music Player when I work out to music as well. Awaz, again, same thing as with Karen. You're listing 2. Instead, students, the higher band score will go to those students who choose one app. It doesn't matter which one, and it doesn't matter if it's the truth. Just choose one, okay? You don't have to be like, wait, okay, I used Facebook 1, 2, 3, and I used YouTube like 1, 2. No, okay, please don't try to figure out which app you actually use most often. Just choose any one of those popular apps and then say it's the one that you use most often, okay? That's the trick here, okay? On the IELTS, you have to be a little bit tricky because you're being asked questions that you have to answer and you have a time limit, okay? The IELTS is not a natural conversation. A lot of students think it's a natural conversation. It's better than TOEFL. You're not just speaking to a machine, but it's still not a real conversation, okay? Firstly, you wouldn't have a conversation like this with a stranger that you met that day, okay? All right. Flower Sun says, YouTube is the app I use most often because most of the lessons there are informative and relative to my study. Like this video about speaking part 1 taught by teacher Adrian. Flower Sun, that is a good answer. You're focusing on one app, okay? Most is a superlative, and it's dealing with one here, with that noun. Okay, Kevin Bowie says, I use Facebook most frequently because this platform is vital to keep in touch with my friend circles without having to travel long distances. In fact, my BFF is currently pursuing her MA in Korea, so doing Facebook calls is a useful way for us to see each other and catch up. Very nice, Kevin. Very nice, Kevin. That's it. Focus on the one app. Good. Arlene says, well, to be honest, every time I turn on my phone, I automatically open Instagram first. I love surfing Instagram in my spare time because it gets me excited and up to speed on what people are doing that I follow. Yeah, keeps me up to speed. Keeps me up to speed. Students, repeat these phrases, okay? Keeps me up to speed means keeps you informed with the current situation, okay? All right, Fazli Din, again, same mistake. You're answering too many apps, all right? Just one app here, all right? Preeti Yogi, our member, says, these days I use the app most, which is Facebook, because, Preeti, I want you to redo it with just one app, okay? The app I use more than any other is text messaging. I probably open this app at least 15 times a day to keep in touch with my friends and relatives. It is a communication app that is linked to my phone number, so I can use it anywhere without necessarily being connected to data. Just before I walked into this room, I checked a message from my mom wishing me good luck. All right. There we go. So repeat after me. What app do you use most often? The app I use more than any other is text messaging. I probably open this app at least 15 times a day to keep in touch with my friends and relatives. It is a communication app that is linked to my phone number, so I can use it anywhere without necessarily being connected to data. Just before I walked into this room, I checked the message from my mom wishing me good luck. All right. Again, answer, explanation, example. Target the question, be direct. That's key. All right, that's key. I can't emphasize that enough. Still, when I do practice speaking interviews with students, one of the most common mistakes that I face with students is they're not giving me direct enough answers. Even when they have good English, they have band 7, band 8 level English, but I can only give them a 6 band score because they're not giving me direct answers, okay? And coherence and accuracy is a big part of your score, especially with the high band scores, all right? Okay, next question, students. Don't get frustrated, Rimshaw. Just stay focused and practice. Here we go, students. Do you play any games on your phone? Again, notice the brackets, why or why not, okay? So give reasons or the examiner will ask you, all right? All right, Firdavs, let me think a bit. My answer is no, as I have had enough time to entertain myself through apps due to too much working hours. As well, I'm not keen on virtual games. I like to play physical games like football with my friends on the weekends instead. Okay, Firdavs, not a bad answer. It's pretty good. You need a little bit more clarity, okay? So something like simply I don't have enough energy to play games on my phone after I'm done with work, especially since much of my work deals with using my phone. I don't have really the motivation to keep playing games on it. Okay, Firdavs, so a little bit better. Charlie says, well, I used to play 8-ball pool, an online billiard game, but currently I don't play these using my phone because I realized that I was addicted and it was wasting my valuable time. Very good, Charlie. Nice explanation. It was wasting my valuable time. Students, make sure you're writing down not just what I say or what I put up here. This is going to be in the video. But if you see some really good expressions and comments from your fellow students, write them down. Repeat them. Okay? Waz says, of course, I play PUBG mobile on my phone at least an hour a day because it's a way for me to relax, especially after a tough 8-hour work day. Very nice, Awaz. Okay, yeah, a little bit of time to unwind and entertain yourself. Okay. Melvin Joseph says, nope, I don't play much on my phone because it wastes a lot of my productive time and sleep hours. I have uninstalled all game apps on my phone except for Ludo. Ludo is not addictive. All right, Melvin. I don't know if you're trying to convince me or yourself, but okay. Ludo stayed on the phone. It's the only game, but it's not addictive. I'm just kidding. Everybody needs a bit of game time, I think. Let's see. A few more answers. Hemant Sharma, our member, says, yes, I have installed Marvel Studios games on my cell phone. I'm a big fan of their movies, so I love playing with those characters. I usually play these games for about an hour a day. I just played Spider-Man 3 about an hour before this exam. Nice, Hemant. Good answer. Nice explanation. Okay. Now everybody's getting that rhythm of answer, explain, example, and you're doing a good job expressing yourself. Okay. Kavya Reddy says, I do play Subway Surf on my phone to be a little bit relaxed and entertained after work. And usually I like to do this while I'm commuting also. Okay. While you're commuting means when you're on the subway or on the bus or on the train. I think that's what you wanted to say, Kavya. Not in journey, but while I'm commuting. Okay. Or while I'm in commute. Okay. All right. Fazlidin Zayev says, well, of course, I play some games like others. Usually I play online games with my friends like PUBG Mobile and Fortnite. Okay. Fazlidin, don't assume. As you can see, many students or many people are saying they don't play games. So not everybody plays games. I know some of my friends have very strict rules that they never install games on their phone. Preeti Sina says, certainly, I play PUBG every day, at least 1 hour, because it entertains me. And after that, I feel rejuvenated, so I sleep soundly at night. Okay. Yes, I do. As I had just mentioned, I play a card strategy game called Hearthstone for about 30 minutes each day. It's both entertaining and a way to keep my mind sharp. I have been playing this game for over a year and have collected many great cards. Okay, so here we go. Repeat after me. Do you play any games on your phone? Yes, I do. As I had just mentioned, I play a card strategy game called Hearthstone for about 30 minutes each day. It's both entertaining and a way to keep my mind sharp. I have been playing this game for over a year and have collected many great cards. All right, so notice here a couple of really interesting strategies to help me get that high band score. First of all, of course, in real time, I know that I just gave this answer a minute before. I'm constantly using apps on my phone, whether it's games like Hearthstone. So here, I already mentioned a game. Of course, if there's a question, do you play any games on your phone, then I'm going to connect with that previous answer and I'm going to elaborate, meaning go into more detail. So I go into more detail about what kind of game it is. It's a card strategy game. Now, doing this, I'm also adding what's called complex grammar, because one of the criteria for the high band scores is what's called grammar range. So using different forms of grammar. And so here I'm using past perfect, I had just mentioned. And then, of course, I'm using a nice correlative conjunction. It's both entertaining and a way to keep my mind sharp. Way to keep my mind sharp means to be a quick thinker, and this is an idiomatic expression that's getting me band scores. I'm using a contraction, which is natural language. And here I'm using present perfect progressive. I have been playing. So present perfect progressive. And again, using quantitative language over a year. Okay, so these are all enhancing my communication and getting me band scores. So that's what you want to do. All right. Next question, students. Here we go. Have you paid for any apps? If yes, why? Okay, so give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Have you paid for any apps? If yes, why? Charlie Sen says, yes, I pay for the app called Cambly to enhance my English speaking skills. It is an app where anyone can learn English from a native English speaker, as getting a good IELTS score is my goal. So I decided to spend some money on it. Charlie, yeah, and don't be shy. Here you might want to include how much. So far I've spent about $100 US to get some private lessons. Sure. Okay, that's great. I think it's pay by the minute, right? If I'm not mistaken. Vanita Rishi says, certainly I had spent some money to purchase a package from Cambly, which is a language app meant for practicing language skills, linguistic skills. I do this so that I can have better command of English and become fluent. Okay. Kamal Sharma says, well, yes, I had paid $40 for the academic IELTS app for reading materials. Good, Kamal, you bought our app. That's super cool. Kamal, you can also link your academic IELTS help app to the website and get full access on the website. So for us, our app links with the website, okay? It's cool. Thanks, Kamal, for supporting us. And of course, you can access videos and lots more there as well. Tang Nguyen says, for people living on a small budget like me, I have never paid for any apps. Thanks to the exponential growth of knowledge on the internet, I find the source of knowledge without a fee. All right, without paying money. Everything has a fee. All right, Kwadwo Asare Owusu says, I used to play arcade games on my phone several years back, but I seldom do now in recent months owing to the nature of my job. I spend that chunk of my day on grueling work, which makes me exhausted. Kwadwu, that's for the last question, I think, and it was good. It's a good answer for the last one. Okay. Rajveer Singh says, yes, I have paid for an application named Hotstar, which is an entertaining app and offers not only recent Hollywood movies, but also broadcasts live sports events related to cricket and football. Today I watched a cricket match between India and England, and it was a thrilling one through this app. Very good, Rajveer. Nice. I didn't know about that app, but good. Hotstar. All right. We're learning about some interesting apps here as well. Hemant says, no, I haven't paid for any apps till date. It is potentially unsafe as I have to link my credit card with the Play Store. And in case my phone is hacked, I can lose my money in the blink of an eye. Yeah, that's true, Hemant. Although digital payments these days, if you do a little bit of research, they're probably safer than paying in stores with credit cards. Most credit card theft actually happens in physical stores. Well, online too. That's probably not completely true. Bruno Reyes says, yes, I have paid for the gold version of Tinder, which is a relationship app. I thought that investing some money on finding myself someone nice would be worth it, and it actually paid off. Bruno, yeah, that's a great explanation. Sure, why not, right? I mean, if you're looking for the love of your life, spending a few dollars on Tinder Gold is probably not a bad idea, right? Okay, good. All right, I'm loving these answers, students. That's great. Elena Mori says, yes, as I mentioned earlier, I have been preparing for IELTS for the last 3 months. I have purchased an IELTS speaking package last month, and I got speaking feedback later, and I was able to see sample answers to improve my speaking skills. Very good. Elena. So spending a bit of money on IELTS speaking apps. Good, good. I like it. Okay. So have you paid for any apps? Yes. Indeed, I have paid for a few different apps in the past. The game Hearthstone, which I've been referring to, has some in-app purchases for card packs and adventures. And I've probably spent a couple $100 on these over the past couple of years. I just bought a new adventure pack that I will start later today. All right, so here we go. Have you paid for any apps? If yes, why? Indeed, I have paid for a few different apps in the past. The game Hearthstone, which I've been referring to, has some in-app purchases for card packs and adventures, and I've probably spent a couple $100 on these over the past couple of years. I just bought a new adventure pack that I will start later today. Yeah, students, just a little bit of a message from myself. Hey, if you're using an app for many, many hours, do consider spending a couple dollars. Remember, these apps are made by people like me and others and programmers and so on, and we invest a lot of our energy and time. So if you use an app for many, many hours, maybe spend a couple dollars to show that you support and respect that work. It might not be a bad idea. Definitely, I can tell you that developers and companies appreciate that, and it helps them to continue to create good content and apps. All right, next question. Let's jump to this last one. I think it's kind of fun one. Okay, we'll jump to this one. If you could make an app for your phone, what would it be and why? Let's jump to that one. So if you could make an app for your phone, what would it be and why? Give me a nice full answer for that one. Okay. Greeno Latino saying, you scroll down very fast, sir. How can we record what you write? Greeno, it's in the video, and the video will be on the YouTube channel. So you can go back and check it out. Make sure you're focusing more on speaking than writing it down. Okay. You can go back and review it later at your own time and write out all the key words. Okay, Greeno, it's a good question. All right. Charlie, I think you jumped the gun there and you answered a different question. Kevin Bowie says, given an opportunity to create an exclusive software for my phone, I would develop a time tracker to assist me in monitoring my tasks so I could be more productive and beat deadlines. Also, this app would prevent me from juggling responsibilities, especially when I'm up to my ears in work. Kevin, really nice English. Kevin, if you can say these nice and fluently, these responses, take the exam. You'll get a band 8-9 for sure. As long as you're nice and fluent, you'll get a great mark. Pooja, thanks for becoming a member. Send me an email so I can hook you up with some perks. Elena says, if I had a chance, I would make a smart switch app. My app could control off and on lights. Sometimes I read storybooks by lying in my bed and I fall asleep. This app could help me to turn off my room light without physically going to the switchboard. Elena, that's a really good idea. So an app that can control your smart home. I think those exist, but that's a great answer. It doesn't matter. Students, you don't have to, for this kind of a question, you don't have to invent a new app that doesn't exist in the world. You can just copy an app, okay? So if I had the chance to program an app, I would likely create one that could call me a cab from anywhere at any time. Yeah, this app exists, sure, but you can say that anyways, all right? The examiner isn't expecting you to invent a brand new app. They just want to hear that you're fluent, okay? Ferdovs Nabiev says, if I would have a chance to create an app in the future, it would be definitely a rescue app to determine whether someone has COVID-19 and then immediately call assistance for them. Very clever, Ferdovs, using the context of today in order to help people. Sure, you just gave me an idea, Ferdovs, and I'm going to use what you just said. So given the chance to create my own app, I would devise a piece of mobile software which could help people strengthen their immune systems by recommending activities and nutrients in their near vicinity, which aid in being strong and healthy. Okay? I think this would come in especially handy during this COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, great, clever. So think about what's happening in the world. What do people need? Hey, an app that helps you to strengthen your immune system. There's an app idea. Probably exists, but why not? So repeat after me. If you could make an app for your phone, what would it be and why? Given the chance to create my own app, I would devise a piece of mobile software which could help people strengthen their immune systems by recommending activities and nutrients in their near vicinity which aid in being strong and healthy. I think this would come in handy during this COVID-19 pandemic. Sure, very good. Or an app that's designed for entertaining people in their home during a lockdown. Why not? Some really good ideas. The lockdown app, how to stay entertained. Students, that's it for today. And if you like this lesson, download our apps. Academic IELTS Help for the academic exam. Get this app. You can link it to aehelp.com. If you join the full premium account on the app or on the website, you can just link them. Please don't try to buy them in both places. It's all one piece of software. For General IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com and General IELTS Help app. Okay? That's it for today. Tomorrow, I will be back with another live class. That live class will be task 2 for members and listening parts 1 and 2 for the all chat class. Of course, everybody is welcome to view both of those classes. Thank you so much, everyone. I see all those thank yous. You are most welcome. Keep up the good studies. Keep pushing forward. Of course, we will recover. Humans are strong. We'll make our way through this pandemic, and then life will return to an even better state, hopefully. Much love to all of you. Signing out from Budapest. My name is Adrian. Bye for now.